After 4 years of long waiting, the 2022 World Cup is finally upon us. In what is an anomaly by taking place in Qatar in November due to the weather, this World Cup is sure to be as exciting as any other in the past, and there are a lot of interesting matches about to take place. Intensity, drama, and a lot of great stories in the making. The World Cup is the ultimate football competition and the biggest sports event in the entire world if we consider ratings and views every time the tournament takes place. It's that much of a big deal. So, for this video, we are going to talk about the round of games in each group, which matches could be the most interesting beforehand, and how this can affect the development of said groups. So, let's get started. Group A: Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands. The opening game of the entire tournament is the hosts Qatar facing off against Ecuador. While Qatar might be the hosting nation for the tournament, the reality is that they are far from being a competitive side, and Ecuador, having enjoyed a very solid qualifying run in CONMEBOL, are the clear favorites here. Both Senegal and the Netherlands are on even terms when it comes to their own particular match, but the latter have greater individual quality, and manager Louis van Gaal is not only one of the most prominent of the last 3 decades in the game, but him recently overcoming cancer is certainly going to motivate his players. Having said that, Senegal proved in the 2022 Africa Cup of Nations that they are no pushovers and they grow stronger when underestimated. Beforehand, it seems like a clash between Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands for the 2 qualifying spots. Group B: England, Iran, United States, and Wales. England is poised for the first spot in this group due to the sheer quality of their squad, so even a draw or a defeat against Iran wouldn't be the end of the world for them. On the other hand, that clash between the United States and Wales might prove to be decisive in the group. They are both on a similar level, and getting an edge of 3 points might be crucial as they'd both have to face England later on. This is one of those groups where the tendencies and final outcome could very well be defined in the first round of fixtures. Group C: Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. Pretty much like England, Argentina have the upper hand in this group. The sheer quality of their players and the great run of form they are entering the tournament could be decisive, especially when you consider that they open the competition by playing against the likely weakest team in the group, Saudi Arabia. Much like in the previous group as well, both Poland and Mexico are going to need a victory over the other in the opening game to get an edge and also to set the momentum going. Mexico have fared better in the World Cup in recent editions than Poland, and there are no major reasons why that would be any different this time around. Group D: France, Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia. France and Denmark are poised as the favorites to win this group, and they can start their dominance in their opening games against Australia and Tunisia, respectively. Both teams have enough individual quality to make a statement in the opening games and cruise this stage of the tournament. On the other hand, Australia and Tunisia don't excel in terms of individual quality, but they are going to have to seize the games between one another and the ones against Denmark to get something out of this group. But it doesn't seem likely. Group E: Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan. Both Spain and Germany appear as the favorites to qualify to the next round, but the latter are particularly poised to take that first spot. Hansi Flick has added a bit more gravitas and consistency to this German side, and his familiarity with the core of Bayern Munich players, due to his past in that club, can only make things a lot better. Much like in the previous group, Japan and Costa Rica seem to be one step behind, and their focus should be in getting something out of Spain. Current Spain manager Luis Enrique has taken the national team to a final and a semifinal in other international competitions, but the quality of this Spanish side is not what it used to be, and that could be an issue. Having said all that, barring any surprises, Germany and Spain should qualify without much issue. Group F: Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia. Belgium's golden generation has always struggled with living up to their potential in the international stage, but they don't often suffer in the group stage. Having said that, Canada have proven to be a good side, and if they execute a tactical game in great fashion, They could cause a lot of trouble to this inconsistent Belgium team. Croatia made it to the final last time around, and while their core of players is already quite seasoned, they shouldn't have any problem at dispatching Morocco, who don't have much going to their favor. Unless Canada has something to say, this group seems to be Belgium and Croatia's to lose. Group G: Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. This group is interesting because it starts with the two candidates facing off from the get-go, Brazil versus Serbia. The Brazilians are by far the favorites to take the first place spot in this group, and they have enough quality to make that happen. As for Serbia, they often have good players, but they have struggled to make it work in these tournaments, so facing Brazil in the opening fixture might be a good motivation for them, although the South Americans have everything in their favor to win. Cameroon, on the other hand, doesn't have much. Switzerland are a potential dark horse due to the matured core of players that they have, the time they have working together, and they have shown in recent tournaments that they can be a challenge. Group H: Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea. Portugal is mainly known in football for their captain and best ever player, Cristiano Ronaldo, but in this edition, they have a lot of world-class players to compete with, even if they haven't lived up to their potential in the national side. They are opening against a good Ghana side that, if they manage to make their pieces work, could make some damage to the Portuguese. Meanwhile, Uruguay, one of the most underrated sides in recent World Cup history, are going to face a weak South Korea team that doesn't have much going to their favor beyond Son Heung-min. At first, this group seems like a three-way race between Portugal, Uruguay, and Ghana, with the latter slightly behind the other two.